Hello there, welcome to the Monday Night Fan Zone. My name's Phil, this is Leicester Fan TV. How are you all doing tonight? Hopefully very, very good. Get your views in, get your comments in, let me know your thoughts on all things to do with Leicester City as ever. Loads to talk about. So, good evening to Matthew Bond. Hello Matthew, lovely to meet you yesterday. Quick hello just before we were doing some filming. Good to see you and finally meet you. Get your views in, Matthew. What did you think to the match? Bradley Lingard is watching. Hi Brad, thanks for watching. Did you get down to the match, Brad? What did you think to it? Andy Price, hello to you. And Mark King, Michael James, thanks guys for watching. Please get your views in. Get your comments in. Yes, thank you, Matthew. It was great to meet you yesterday. Lovely. Good to have. We had virtually everybody. Only James was missing, really, out of the content team yesterday. Chappers was there. Jamie from the Fox's Arms was there. Don Cole and Mrs. Don were there with Jim from the States. Neil was there. Simon was there. Hopefully you came to say hello to some of us. And we had a great time. It was really nice to meet up with all the content team who help bring you some of this nonsense like I do. Jordan Williams says, would have preferred an away draw in the FA Cup. Jordan, why do you want an away draw in the FA Cup? Surely, Wigan at home? We can't ask for much better than that in the FA Cup. It's not a glamour tie, but it's a business-like tie that hopefully we should be able to watch. Now, who said that? Ivan Nylander is saying, watching tonight from Sierra Leone. First far-flung fox of the night. Thank you, Ivan, for saying that. Maz Redway, good evening to you. Andreas, how are you? Hope you're well, Andreas. Get your views in. Get your comments in. How pleased are we? Let's get on to Nacho. How pleased are you that Nacho has done that? Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic news. I know when he came on, I was sat with Neil and Sam out the content team. And when he came on, I tell you what, that we were sat in the family stand. There was generally cheers around us. People seemed excited that he was coming on. I did speak to Simon afterwards, Simon Mack, who does our reports. His fan report is on leicesterfantv.com website already today. Simon said he was sitting in the cop. He did hear a few boos for Nacho coming on. Well, hopefully anybody who did do that is hanging their head in shame. Baz Short, good evening to you, Baz. Tom Webb, hello. David Gavin saying, what a game Sunday, our lads are buzzing. Absolutely. I mean, it was exciting, the match. I was just as excited watching it again on Match of the Day 2 last night. Fantastic stuff. So I want to talk to you about Nacho. Clearly man of the match for me. I was surprised other people were saying Ndidi or Ricardo. I thought generally everybody had a bit of a 5, 6, 7 out of 10 game yesterday. I don't think anybody particularly stood out, apart from Nacho for me. 30 astonishing minutes he came on and played, or whatever it was. So, had to be Nacho as man of the match. Did you agree with that, or did you not? Who did you think it was? Here's one for you as well. Did you sneak out and go home and miss it all? Trust me, plenty of you did. I don't mind. You can come on here and say, do you know what I did? And we'll all have a laugh with you. And we'll laugh at you, but there was plenty again, I sit in the family stand, and I know why. Listen, it's a Sunday, it's a school night, people got to get the kids home, got to go out, whatever, miss the traffic. It's fair enough. I just a little bit amazed. That game was begging for a winner, absolutely begging for a winner. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't always come. But I tell you what, yesterday when that one came, boy oh boy, we put a video. I did a video when it went to the VAR. We just celebrated how amazing it was, and then it's worth checking out because to see everybody going mental was great. Brad Lingard says, great result. Jason Mills is watching, so's Aggie. Get your views in. Matthew says, don't manage to get very often, so me and my son, very excited. Yes, Matthew, not a bad game. For those of you who can't get every match, not a bad game. Jamie from the Fox's Arms, or Stato as now we all should call him. Jamie, get some stats in from yesterday, please. And get your views in. Alan Jones, good evening. Jordan Williams is saying, Jordan's saying why he wanted an away game. He says more beers and a day out. He'd rather gone to Wigan. You could have took him Wigan Pier if that was there. Listen, so many comments coming in. I really appreciate it. Please keep them coming in. If I don't read them out live, I promise you I'll go back and I'll read them all at the end and try to comment to a few of them. But there is so many coming in tonight. Franco saying, thought Chile had a bit of an off game yesterday. I think you're right, Franco. I don't think he had a great game. I don't think Maddison had a great game yesterday. I don't think Soyuncu had a great game, if I'm honest. He wasn't bad, but I don't think him and Evans had their best games ever. Soyuncu, certainly in the second half, tried a couple of those chips and balls and it didn't come off. But on the other hand, he put in some great blocks. Soyuncu did. Had a bit of a argy-bargy in front of the family stand with one of the Everton players. So I thought overall it wasn't an outstanding team performance, but hey, listen, if you're grinding out a result and you win when perhaps you shouldn't have done, if we're honest, that's what it's all about. Brad Lingard says, Nacho done well, happy he scored, hopefully give him some confidence. He seemed quite calm after the match in his post-match interview. If I was Nacho, I'd be absolutely buzzing after that, but he seemed very, very level-headed. Stuart Child says, poor Nacho, he came to our corner ready for the love, and the linesman ruined it. I know. He slid over to take all the thing, and then the linesman's flag. What do you think about that linesman's flag? If you're honest, if that was the other way round and the linesman's flag had gone up in a Leicester, we were defending it, and that had gone up, I think I'd have been moaning my backside off that the linesman had put the defenders off. Now, they're trying to argue it hadn't, but again, Simon was saying afterwards, Simon Mack was saying in last night's live video, and Tom, fuming about the state of the referees and the linesmen and VAR, that they just don't know what's going on anymore. It's like they've lost the plot. Yesterday's ref was not good at all. What did you think to yesterday's ref? Get your views in and get your comments in. Now, I'm going to stop gabbing all the time. I'm going to read out some of your comments. Stato from the Fox's Arm says, 6 wins on the bounce for the first time in the Premiership. I think, Stato, is it the first time we've won 6 on the trot since 1963? Can we make it 7? Can we make it 7 against Watford? We really should. Bottom of the league, no manager, in a total mess at Watford. That's got to be 3 points all over. We'll come on to that in a bit. Andreas says, amazing game. What's great is we are winning even when we're not at our best. That's a sign of a great team. I agree with you, Andreas. And I wouldn't say it was a great game. It was a great last 20-odd minutes, and it was a great, one of the best last injury times. We were beyond injury time, to be fair. Somehow they'd only managed to show 3 minutes of injury time. The first half, I was fuming at half-time. We must have had 4 minutes of VAR, let alone injuries and time wasting and players going down, and they showed 2 minutes of injury time at the end of first half. Absolutely bonkers. Brett Coombs, good evening. I'm very, very good. How are you, Brett? Hope you're well. Get your views in, Brett. Get your comments in. Keep them sensible, Brett. And you, Scott, if you're watching. Where is Scott Simpson tonight, Brett? Where is he? Good evening, says Josh Wilson. Good evening to you as well. Alison Green. Hi, Alison. How are you? Thanks for getting this comment in. Alison says, I was worried we wouldn't even pull a draw out of yesterday, yet alone a win. I agree. Although we said at half time, as soon as we get a goal, we could go on and win this. The force will be with us, as some of you would say. Andy Medhurst, hi Andy, get your views in, come on, get your comments in, let us know. Pete Hydes, good evening. Pete says Nacho was so cool, he took it so well. Nacho took that better than most strikers you've seen. He took it probably took that goal better than Vardy would have took that goal. Nacho did. Talk about the fact that he's had pretty chaotic last 2 seasons at Leicester with not much action. Fantastic way he took that. And I am having it that first goal, Vardy's goal, that was a cross, that was a pass from Nacho. I'm not having it. Some people taking the mickey and saying it was a shot. He didn't. He passed that. That was Nacho. That was a great assist. And he did some lovely flicks and tricks and passes. Jamie says, first time ever in the Premiership for City, 6 home wins in a row. Yes, Jamie, get us some more stats in. Andy Price saying, play to the whistle, talking about the linesman's flag. I agree, that's what you're always taught, even at school level, isn't it? Mark Gatwood is watching. How are you, Mark? Thank you for that. Simon Barrett, good evening, welcome to the show, Simon. Stuart Child says, it was close, we had a penalty taken away, so it evens out in the end. The ref was diabolical. Was that a penalty or not? I still think it was a penalty. Tom Hogarth showed me the VAR numerous times yesterday. We went down to Peter's for a pizza. I still think that was a penalty against Ben Chilwell. I thought there was enough intent in there that it was a penalty. I don't know. I also thought Perez was unlucky not to get one earlier. Do you think they were penalties, or do you think VAR got it right? Josh Wilson is saying 7, it's heaven, talking about can we beat Watford. I like that. That should be 7th heaven on Wednesday night. That's what we'll call it. Aggie Frith says, hi Aggie, says Craig Pawson referee on Wednesday night. What's Craig like? I can't remember Craig Pawson any good. It can't be as bad as yesterday. There's a photo of... who was it? Was it John Moss was the assistant referee? Who was the assistant referee? There's a photo of him looking like fuming that they've just overturned the VAR, has overturned the ref's result after they'd given it yesterday. Matthew Bond saying the ref was poor. A yellow for Everton early would have helped. Oh, they did time waste in a very professional sort of way. Franco Calitri, what a great name. Franco Calitri says, could Vardy break his own record? Chappers, Lee Chapman, don't forget, does his podcast every week. Chappers, little fact for you. I don't know if you picked up on it over the weekend. Chappers says that Ruud van Nistelrooy held the record for the most consecutive games and goals. And then the person who broke Ruud van Nistelrooy's record was himself. So Chappers is saying Vardy holds the record at the moment. Is it going to be Vardy who breaks his own record? He's on 6 in 6. I'd fancy him to score against Watford. That would make it 7. And suddenly when it's 7, got Villa away on Sunday. Could be 8. He's on. The game's on. Andy Meadows says, the big question everyone is talking about is, did you buy the pizzas? Peter's got us the pizzas for free. Thank you, Peters. I did pay for the drinks though. I bought the round. Give us some credit, Andy. Tony Fish, good evening to you as well. Thanks, Tony. Joanna, how are you, Joanna? Did you go yesterday? We didn't see you afterwards. Hope you're going to pop by to say hello. We always want people to come and speak to us on the cameras live afterwards. Get your views in. Joanna, anyway, says, yesterday's ref needs to be sent on a course ASAP. Absolutely shocking. Worst ref this season? Certainly felt like he didn't have a grip of the game, I would say. Oh, Steve Hinks, you had to bring it up and we will have to talk about it. Do you want to, let's have a look at the time. Steve has brought up the Rodgers Arsenal question. Steve Hinks says, good evening, Phil. Who is next Arsenal manager then? Defo, not Rodgers. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be honest with you. I got a phone call at 3:30 today from one of the ITV guys who phoned us and said, Phil, can you come and do an interview at the King Power Stadium now? And I was like, no, actually I can't. I'm working. I can't just drop everything and get down to you. But I said, why? What do you need to talk about? And he says, well, I've just come out of the press conference today with Brendan Rodgers, and Brendan wouldn't categorically say he wouldn't go to Arsenal. Now, listen, I haven't seen that press conference, so let me know if you've seen it. I don't know. I think it's the media stirring the big pot of you know what. But are they? Is Rodgers? No. Why would you leave Leicester at this moment? He's on. He must know. Brendan Rodgers must feel like he's involved in something special. And I'm going to say, we know we're in a title race. But if not, we're certainly in a top 4 Champions League race, which Brendan Rodgers must be fancying. We're in the quarterfinals of the Cup. We've got Everton in, well, not long now. We've got Wigan in the FA Cup. We're second in the Premier League. We're 12 points clear of 5th. The Arsenal job is a big job. We are going to talk about it because Steve Hinks has brought it up, and quite rightly, like I say, ITV mentioned it to me. They phoned me. I don't know what I'd have said in that interview. What would you like me to have said? Put in the comments here. What do you think about Brendan Rodgers and Liverpool? Didn't really want to talk about it, but we're going to do it now. It's fair enough. Steve's brought it up. Let's get that comments in. I'm going to skip down to some Brendan Rodgers comments as soon as we can. Daz Stockwin is watching. Daz, what do you reckon? Josh Wilson says Vardy can beat his own record. Jack Marson says 9 points in the next 3 games. Anthony Howard is watching. Don't forget, go and follow LCFC Boyer on YouTube and wherever else on Twitter. Anthony does say King Kelechi. Everybody's a Kelechi fan now, which is fine. David Hart is watching. Pete Hyde says 1 game at a time, lol. Carlos Gonzalez says, was a poor ref. I've seen worse though, lol. Oh, we have seen worse, but he really wasn't good. Stuart Childs is saying, I've got £10 at 125 to 1 that Vardy equals his record 11-11. That's not looking a bad bet actually now. That's I mean, wow, over £1,000, isn't it? Will Liverpool be the new bottlers, says Jamie from the Fox's Arms. I've got a feeling at some point they are going to have... There's so much pressure on Liverpool to win it, and there's no pressure on Leicester to win it, because nobody is honestly giving us a cat's hell in chance again. I love it. I love it that in the media they're talking about Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea, and you go, hello, we are second, and they're still not talking about Leicester. And Liverpool are going to come under some big pressure. I want to know about Brendan Rodgers. What do you guys think? Get your comments in. What do you think? Jake Palmer saying, is it happening, Rodgers to Arsenal, with a question mark? Hopefully not, Jake. I really hopefully not. And let's not. I think it's just the media. They've got nothing much to talk about, and they want to just stir this pot. They really want to stir it, make news where there isn't. But it's a big job at Arsenal. But let's hope he doesn't want to. I think it's just. Oh, with everything you see obviously on some of the fan media stuff from down there, why would you want to go there and get all that grief? Honestly, stay at Leicester and build something. TJ Chapman says Arsenal are not a massive club. Listen, TJ, you know me. I think you'll guess I'm a Leicester fan. But I've got to say Arsenal are a massive club. They really are. But I think Leicester are becoming... I had a bit of an argument with somebody on Twitter earlier, an Everton fan, who'd put a tweet out there saying, oh, what's all this Leicester think they're like a proper club now? They're not. And he was having a real go at us Leicester, saying we're just minnows and all that. So I put it right to him that Everton have done nothing in years. And Leicester are on the up. We're on the up. We're going that way. We're going up and up and up. New training ground, extension to the ground is happening. Chappers confirmed that last week. Hopefully you saw that on one of his videos, that the extension is definitely happening. It's going to be there within 2 years. 8,000 seats. New training ground, bigger ground. Premier League this season. Champions League next season. Brad Lingard says Rodgers won't live this season. Brad, who is from Emergency Glazing Services, there, promising you, Brendan Rodgers will not leave this season. I agree with you, Brad. Actually, I think it wouldn't work for his career if he was to leave now. He's just left Celtic back in January, February, whichever date it was. I think it wouldn't work for him to go now. It wouldn't be long enough for him at Leicester. Tony Fish is saying maybe Rodgers is after a sneaky pay rise. Vardy did it with a smiley face. Dan Shearer says Arsenal are a small club that won't get into Europe. Listen, they're a big club in my books, but they're a club in turmoil at the moment. Joanna Astley is saying Rodgers stated with why would leave Leicester? Answer was good enough for me. Fair enough. Stuart Childs is saying no, Rodgers says he's happy here. He certainly does say he's happy here. What ITV was saying to me is that he just would not categorically rule himself out of the Arsenal job, and he was pushed on it. Listen, I haven't seen it, but that's what the guy wanted to have an interview with somebody about. Jason Mills, good evening Jason, says Arsenal are a club all over the place. I agree with you, Jason. And he goes on to say Leicester are going places, Arsenal are going nowhere. A bit like Man United, it'd be the poison chalices, these sorts of games at the moment, these sorts of roles, if you ask me, but somebody would take it. Brendan Rodgers, this is Anthony Howard, says Brendan Rodgers said he is happy here and he has no reason to leave. Typically, Sky taking 1 line out of 5-minute interview, trying to make him look bad. I think you're right, probably, Anthony. I keep saying it's the media stirring things. Larry is saying that the press conference, Brendan was quite positive about not leaving. He certainly has said that. He has said that. Andy Meadows is saying, Brendan's saying he's happy at Leicester, but I will be more relieved when Arsenal announce they have a new manager. I know it's certainly not good timing. Spurs needing a new manager, Arsenal needing a new manager. Will Man United be the next one? How much longer do you think they'll give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? And did you see, by the way, we don't want to talk about Harry Maguire too much tonight. He's gone. We know. But there was a lovely little video clip on Twitter last night of Harry Maguire getting turned, sold a right kipper, and then having to almost rugby tackle the player down. And you just look and you go, thanks for that 80 million. Thank you for that. Glenn Daly says, hopefully Nacho will be full of confidence and could be a plan B. Yes, finally maybe a plan B, but a plan B that played with Vardy. Well done to Brendan Rodgers for switching it around. I think that's the biggest thing from yesterday. We put on Twitter, we put out who was your man of the match, and we put Ndidi, we put Ricardo Pereira, we put Nacho, and we put Brendan Rodgers in there, because actually you have to give him credit for yesterday. He changed it around. How brave was him to put on Nacho? Maybe it would have been Damari Gray yesterday had he been available. Daz Stotwin says, why would Rodgers leave? Look at the man's work. He has the boys in the palm of his hand. Great manager. Too good for Arsenal, lol. I think you're right, Daz. I think you're right. I'm scooting down so many comments. I've really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. So many in here. I can't read every single one out of you. I'm trying to get as many different views in and different comments in. Good evening, Dave Sullivan. Far-flung Fox, how are you? Oh, Far-flung Fox, you're in Leicester, Dave. I don't know what I'm talking about, mate. Good to see from you. Anyway, Lucky Fox, man. That's what I'm trying to say, Dave. David Smith goes, Arsenal are a bigger club, but we are better. One day, maybe, David, we will be a bigger club than Arsenal. That will be the plan. Andy Price saying, getting a decent bench now. Dennis Pratt, Damari Gray, Kelechi Iheanacho, Mark Albrighton. Yeah, it is a decent bench. It is a decent bench. It's probably, man for man, the squad is probably better, more talented, as we were discussing yesterday, more talented than the Premier League winning season. Jack Marsden, how are you? Good evening to you. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video, Jack. Get your comments in as well, Jack, and I'll read them out. Josh Butler says Man City might want Rodgers in 2022 when Pep leaves then. Pete Hyde saying we don't need a striker. Listen, what is it? One swallow doesn't make a summer. But hey, that's got to do Nacho's confidence the world of good, Pete. So let's hope. I mean, we did pay 25 million for him about 3 years ago. So it's about time, you know, be nice. It's nice to get something back for that money. Mark Wright says, why is there still no statue for our greatest manager ever, Dilly Ding, Dilly Dong? I 100% agree with you, Mark. I 100% agree with you. Believe it or not, Mark, we have looked into how much it would cost to get a statue made here at Leicester Fan TV. It's a lot of money. And do you know what? It was one thing, it's about 60 grand it would cost to get a statue made. I've looked into it. It's not raising the money, because you lot, between us all, we'd raise that money, wouldn't we? I'm sure we would. Hands up if you put 50p in the pot. We all would. But it's where do you put it? It's getting it placed, Mark. That's the tough thing. Anyway, we've got off onto a Dilly Dong statue of Claudio Ranieri. But I'm up for it. If anybody wants to do it, we just need somewhere to put it. Jack Marston's come back with a comment saying a big win yesterday to maintain top 4 status. Jack, not top 4 status, top 2 status. Top 2. Lee Sutton says, a psychological sub by Rodgers putting Iheanacho on, similar to when O'Neill put Calac on in the playoff final against Palace. I wouldn't quite compare it the same there, if I'm honest to you, Lee. I don't think that was quite the same, but it was a surprise that it was Nacho coming on. But at the time, we were like, right, well, let's see what he can do. Mark Shepherd says, why does Sky keep referring to Liverpool are now 11 points clear of Man City and never mention us? I agree with you, Mark. It's the most annoying thing ever, because they don't think we're in it. They don't think we're in the race, Matt. That is what it is. Bring it on. I'm happy with that. We are that dark horse on the ratings that nobody's taking seriously. For whatever reason, and it's slightly frustrating, we won the Premier League 3 years ago, as we all know. Liverpool haven't won it in 30 years, and all of a sudden they're bound to win it. I know they're 8 points clear of us. Let's hope Everton do us a favour. I didn't think Everton were that bad yesterday. I thought they were still playing for Marco Silva. I think there was life in that. I think they will go to Anfield on Wednesday night, and there's a chance. They did draw against Liverpool last year, just like we did. Scouse Derby, which they've just pulled in the FA Cup, the Merseyside Derby. I think Everton could go to Liverpool and get a sneaky draw. You never know. And I think we could. Maybe we'll just beat Watford, I'm hoping. And maybe that gap there's another 2 points down. We all know Boxing Day is going to be just magnificent. Let's hope we're still close, if not closer. More comments. Keep them coming in. Carlos says he would give 50 quid to the statue. Stuart Childs is talking about one swallow doesn't make a summer. I'm not reading the rest out, Stuart. I nearly did. Brendan's at the wheel now. How good does it feel, says Jack Marson. Absolutely brilliant. Let's talk, before we lose time, what should we talk about? Wigan in the FA Cup. Good draw, bad draw. If you're happy with the Wigan draw, give us a like. If you wanted something different, put in the comments who you want. I've got to be honest, I think that's a plum draw for Leicester. Home draw, FA Cup, Wigan. We could put out, we should, take it seriously, but we should put out, give some of the lads a run out. Christian Fuchs, Mark Albrighton, Hamza Chowdhury, Danny Ward, Wes. We've got a really, really good team of lads who are on and around that bench and that squad. Get them in for that FA Cup match. We really should beat Wigan. Put people like Vardy on the bench, Maddison on the bench. That would be me for it. And I've changed my tune. Listen, I've changed my tune. At the start of the season, I was all about win the League Cup, win the FA Cup. I think at this stage, go in the League Cup against Everton away. Put the first team out. That would be my logic. But in the FA Cup, at home against Wigan, I don't think we need to rush too much and worry about it. Tom Eaton is watching. Good evening, Tom. The Man U fan in the Leicester shirt in Leicestershire. How are you, Tom? Thanks again for that 80 million you gave us for Harry Maguire. Fantastic business. If ever you want to come and do that again, feel free. Dave Smith saying this team is much better than the 2015-16 team. Just reconfirms what a miracle winning 5,000 to 1 was. Dan Shearer says would be great for Everton to win and Man City to lose to United at the weekend and we pick up 6 points. I agree with you there. Gray Richardson saying, sorry for late joining. I'll take Wigan first out of that. I know we were the first name. I was stood there thinking, I wonder who we're going to get then. There it was, 21, home draw. First out the hat. I thought, nice and easy. Gray, what time do you call this though? You know we start at 7:30 at the moment. Callum saying, wanted Coventry because I hate them, or Ipswich because my dad supports them. Yeah, I agree. I'd have liked a Forest or a Derby or a Coventry. Yeah, Coventry. Mind you, Coventry away. Where on earth would Coventry play now? Is it down at St Andrews? Scott saying, kiss the trophy up. I'm not going to kiss the trophy tonight. Jake Palmer says, imagine if we would win the FA Cup, EFL Cup and Premier League. The treble is still on. The treble is on, Jake. Leicester City going for the treble. Brad Lingard saying wanted Forest at home. Yeah, I'd have loved to have played Forest. Always Forest or Derby. Either of those two, home or away. I'd have quite liked an away trip to Forest or Derby. Dave Felstead says it's a good draw for us. It's a great draw for us, Dave, I think. Matthew Bond says love to win the FA Cup. Only cup we haven't won now. Is that right? Is my stats right there? I mean, we haven't won the Champions League yet. So I suppose English Cups, we've won them all, haven't we? We've won League. Well, we've not won. We've won League One. We've won the Championship, and Division 2. We've won the Premier League. We won the League Cup. We've just not won the FA Cup or Division 2, League 2, Division 4, whatever you want to call it. We haven't won that one, and hopefully we never will. Matt Shepherd says the treble's on. Josh Butler saying it's a good draw. It's a chance for us to go into the 4th round of the FA Cup. John Squires is watching. Good evening, John. Jamie from the Foxes says League, FA Cup, League Cup, checker trade, as could do them all. Yeah, that's true. We haven't won the Johnson's Paint Trophy one. We were in it one year, weren't we? When we were in League One, I was like, come on, this is a chance to get to Wembley, but we didn't bother with it. Lee Sutton says, think Nacho should start against Wigan. I reckon he would score again and will be a good boost for his confidence. All of a sudden things change, don't they? If we need a goal against Watford, get Nacho on. If we're 2 or 3 up against Watford, get Nacho on. Let's get him another goal as quick as we can. James Moore says, glad we've finally got a home draw in the Cup. John Squires, good evening. Aggie Frith says, be interesting to see what the gate will be against Wigan. I think it'll be decent. I think it'll be more than decent. Hopefully they keep the ticket prices down. It's not in the season ticket, so season tickets will get first chance. But it gives everybody else who doesn't manage to get, and a lot of fans can't get to every game, can't afford to get to every game, so it gives some of those fans a chance until the ground has the extension to get into a game. Now, before we finish up, I've got to go through. We have got so many competitions on LeicesterFanTV.com for you guys to enter. There is another mini keg of Tiger beer to win on there from our pals at Everard's. So get over to LeicesterFanTV.com to enter for that one. That's competition 1. I'm going to draw all these competitions on our Monday night show on December the 23rd. All of them will do a live draw. So if you've entered for them, enter for all 3. You got 3 chances. The next one, thanks to our guys at Emergency Glazing Services, is this amazing Kasabian jacket. So if you want to win this, you can go to the website and enter for that. So that's 2 prizes so far. Beer, Kasabian jacket. Very nice indeed. That's 2. We have got another pink shirt competition on the website. Go and enter there. Thanks to our pals at Pink Vehicle Leasing. Thanks everybody for watching, getting all your comments in. Last couple of comments before we wrap it up, because it is just gone 8 o'clock. Scott Simpson says hello to Joe. Hi Joe, whoever that is. Jamie from the Foxes saying yes, we did in 1971. What do you mean yes in 1971? Jack Marston saying Nacho to score the winner against Liverpool. Fill the scenes. They were great scenes yesterday. They were absolutely great scenes. Oh, Andy Price is saying we won the Charity Shield in 1971. Thank you for not adding that. Aggie Frith has got a great memory saying we lost to Rotherham in the Johnson Paints Trophy at the Don Valley. You're right, it was. Aggie, what are you doing remembering things like that? My memory's a sieve. Absolute sieve. David, I can't believe you've remembered that one. Although I can remember a Zenith Data Cup tie at Notts County like it was yesterday. I'm sure many of you can. Leicester winning with Fitzpatrick scoring the winner right in front of us, wet, soaked. Oh, let's not get on to that. What a game that was. One of my favourites ever. Zenith Data Cup. Northern semi-final or final. I think it was a semi-final. Anyway, you keep to your Johnson Paints trophy. Andy Medhurst is saying we need to win a cup for Vichai, which I think is a great one. Dave Felstead is saying never won the FA Cup, but been there a couple of times. I think we've been there 4 times. 49, 61, 69, 63. Am I right in that? Are they the 4 years? John Squires is saying, yes, I was there. You were there. Which one were you at, John? Anyway, Jake Palmer says, good night. Good night, Joanna Astley. Andy Price, good evening to you. We'll see you, Scott Simpson. We'll see you all. Don't forget, on Wednesday night. It's an early kick-off, 7:30. Let people know it's an early kick-off. We'll be down at the Blues Bar at about 6:30 going live. Come and see us. We'll be live straight after, again, outside the Blues Bar. After final whistle, come and get your views, get your comments in. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks to all these guys who helped bring us Leicester Fan TV. Go on the website, LeicesterFanTV.com, enter all the competitions. Thanks for all your views, all your comments, all your support. Good evening.